Want to know the psychology behind why some men seem utterly irresistible to women without resorting to cheap pickup lines or manipulation? Here's the truth. There are actual psychological principles you can use to spark genuine, lasting attraction that goes far beyond superficial charm. Today, you're going to learn 7 science-backed psychological tricks that can make a woman want to be around you, think about you, and even get a little obsessed. But as you watch, remember, all of these work best when your goal is authentic connection, not mind games. Welcome to the channel. If you're tired of awkward dates, mixed signals, and wondering why you're always stuck in the friend zone, this video is for you. We're not talking about canned routines or empty bravado. Instead, you'll discover practical insights from psychology, tested by real-world experience, that can dramatically transform how women feel about you. Before we dive in, let's get one thing straight. You find yourself thinking about them long after the conversation ends, replaying tiny moments in your mind. That's the magic you can learn to create. Let's break it down. First, set the right energy from the start. Most guys show up nervous, trying way too hard, or constantly seeking approval. But here's the thing. Your energy is contagious. If you're anxious, she'll feel it and get uncomfortable. On the other hand, if you're genuinely relaxed and having a good time, everything changes. She picks up on your calm, grounded vibe and feels safe to let her guard down too. That's when real attraction has space to grow. When you interact with a woman, focus on enjoying the moment for what it is. Treat the conversation as something fun and spontaneous, without expectation. If you're genuinely excited but not desperate, she'll sense it. This immediately sets you apart from the majority of guys who come across as needy or tense. This doesn't mean lurking around her favorite coffee shop hoping to bump into her. It's about frequent, natural interactions. The goal is to be present enough that you become a comfortable, familiar part of her world. As you show up, at group events, mutual hangouts, even in low-key ways, her mind picks up subtle comfort signals. Familiarity breeds connection, and soon enough, she starts to look forward to seeing you. But there's a crucial twist. You want your presence to feel positive, never invasive. Let's say you're in the same friend group and you have casual, light conversations each time. Your interactions are friendly, maybe a little playful, never forced. Over time, she'll naturally start associating you with good feelings simply because you've become a familiar, enjoyable part of her life. Research shows that people actually rate familiar faces as more attractive than strangers. So by simply being there, without smothering, you increase your odds dramatically. So how do you apply this? Be careful not to lay all your cards on the table. Keep a hint of mystery. Share stories in a way that leaves unanswered questions. Maybe you mention a project you're passionate about but don't fully explain it, or reference a trip you took without describing every detail. The goal isn't to be evasive or play games, but to retain enough intrigue that she feels compelled to learn more. Here's a practical example. Talk about your interests, but save your strongest passions or most interesting stories for later. Mention an unusual hobby or a surprising childhood experience, but stop short of giving the full story unless she asks. When she does, become the storyteller. Draw her in with details but leave room for imagination. She thinks to herself, "I've told things I wouldn't tell anyone else," and her interest intensifies. These moments make her feel uniquely understood and connected. How can you encourage this? Create a judgment-free vibe. Listen actively, share some of your own quirks and stories, and react with warmth and empathy when she shares something personal. You can ask playful, open-ended questions that spark reflection, like, "What's something everyone assumes about you that isn't true?" Or, "What's the weirdest thing you've ever done on a dare?" When you open the door to honesty and vulnerability, obsession follows. Trick 4. The rectangle principle and psychological reactance. This technique is rooted in what psychologists call reactance theory. When people feel that their freedom or autonomy is limited, they automatically want what they can't have. This is why forbidden fruit is so tempting. If access feels restricted, desire skyrockets. What does this look like in dating? Also, if you're ready to fast-track your success, check out my new course in the description or comments for exclusive strategies. Here's how to use reactants ethically. Continue to be friendly and engaging, but don't rearrange your life for her or cancel your plans just to be free at her convenience. Respect her time and independence, but make sure you're also living by your own standards. By showing you have boundaries and commitments, her mind starts to value your attention even more. She may find herself thinking, "Why aren't you as available as everyone else? What makes you so confident?" Which triggers curiosity and attraction. Trick 5. Social proof. We're all hardwired to look to others for cues about what's valuable. If her friends, her social circle, or even strangers seem to like you, her brain automatically assigns you higher value. This is called social proof, the phenomenon that makes celebrities more attractive simply because other people admire them. But how do you build social proof in a natural way? You become someone people genuinely like being around. If her friends think you're attractive and trustworthy, she'll likely feel the same. This isn't about manipulation, it's about authenticity and respect. Trick 6. Respectful seduction. Resistance. There's a peculiar paradox in attraction. Women tend to be less interested in men who are easily seduced or eager to please. Studies show that most women are drawn to men who maintain a bit of distance, who don't crumble at the first sign of flirtation. What does this look like? If she bats her eyelashes or drops hints, don't scramble to please or shower her with praise. Instead, maintain your composure. Be playful, but keep your cool. If you're patient, slightly reserved, and not immediately won over, she's more likely to see you as a challenge, a partner, not a pushover. Being hard to impress doesn't mean being cold or rude. It's about showing that your attention is earned, that you're not swayed by every compliment or seductive gesture. This means being honest about what excites you or scares you, revealing your real opinions, and inviting her into your world without pretense. Women want respect, adventure, commitment, and freedom of choice. They want a partner, not a parent or a project. If you show your humanity, your struggles along with your strengths, you become relatable, memorable, and magnetic. For example, if you're passionate about something, don't pretend it's insignificant. Share what drives you and why. If you're nervous about an upcoming event, say so with humor and honesty. When you own your vulnerability, you invite her to do the same, building a deeper connection. Now let's get practical. How do you use these tricks without turning into a walking script or coming off as inauthentic? It starts with self-awareness. Pay attention to your own emotional state before any interaction. Are you anxious, desperate, or needy? If you sense that things aren't clicking, don't beg for attention or grow resentful. Move on and keep your dignity. Paradoxically, this freedom makes you much more attractive. Fourth, respect boundaries. If she's uncomfortable or signals disinterest, don't force the issue. Move on or shift gears. Remember, genuine obsession is never about pressure or manipulation. It's about positive, mutual engagement. Let's circle back and look at how all 7 psychological principles can combine for maximum effect. Imagine a night out with friends. You show up relaxed, smiling, genuinely excited to enjoy the moment, but not anxiously scanning the room for approval. You engage with people naturally, making everyone laugh, and especially being kind to her friends. When she hints at a flirtation, you respond playfully but don't immediately fold. You share a few intriguing, half-told stories about your travels or passions, but keep some details for later. She starts looking forward to your next meeting, thinking about your quirks, and wondering what makes you tick. She talks to her friends about you, hearing them agree you're someone worth knowing. Without ever resorting to tricks or manipulation, you've sparked curiosity, connection, and yes, a little obsession. And the best part? These psychological tools aren't about creating a fake persona. They help you reveal your most attractive, genuine self. But let's go deeper. Why do these principles work, regardless of personality or appearance? At their core, they make a woman feel safe, valued, and intrigued. They appeal to the human need for novelty and security at the same time. When you combine confidence with curiosity, mystery with authenticity, and boundaries with warmth, you become unforgettable. So, as you go out into the world, remember, presence is powerful. Enjoy each interaction for its own sake. Curiosity is magnetic. Thanks for watching. If you want to get the results you wish for fast, then check my limited time offer on my new course, which will skyrocket your success in dating. Click the link right now down below in the description or in the comments and grab this opportunity. See you in there.